I won the big prize. So my name is Laura Cooper, and I am a business partner and a realtor for Yogesh Dobby, who is the owner and the financier of this project. I came here because I have a personal relationship with him. I've known him for 4 years. Don't know all of the gentlemen that stood up that aren't from in town. I'm from Danbury, and I sell in the entire Brazoria County area. And I just want to present to the council from a business perspective this project. I also want to start by saying, because I am a local realtor, I do take into consideration the community, the people, their homes, that their residents are here, and I am actually very sensitive to that because of my job. So I don't want to come off as insensitive to them, but I do want to present the business aspects and some thoughts that I have on Yogi's behalf. So to give y'all some insight, Yogi is a Manville resident. So he lives off of Bissell Road, and he raised his kids here too. So both of his boys, Raj and Rohan, graduated from Manville High School. They also own a business on Highway 6, and he takes a ton of pride in living in Manville. He loves his community, and he's an extremely charitable person. I've seen it with my own eyes. Unfortunately, he's not here tonight because he travels a lot, so he's road tripping in an RV with his family and his adorable little daughter on the northwest of the United States of America. And he's, in my opinion, a really good person, and I want to make sure it's very clear that the Marriott is not financing this project. The Marriott, with all of their thousands of properties, the majority of them are franchises. So Yogi is a Manville resident, and he's investing his money in this community that he loves and he really does want to give back to. I think the heart of this motel, or this hotel, sorry, I said that was probably a big mistake. The heart of this hotel is, that's kind of my Texan, sorry, we call it all motel, but the heart of this hotel is really to provide an amenity for the community. So I know a lot of people are really focused on it bringing like stranger danger into the town, but he really at his heart wants to provide an amenity that the community doesn't have. He's investing his money, his time, his heart into this project, and he owns the land. He bought the land from another local Manvillian, is that what we call y'all? Manvillite, Manville, whatever. And she did that with gladness. She sold it to him with gladness, and she's been here for a long time. I'm sure a lot of people in here have done the research and know who she is. I've met her. She's a lovely lady. And this is his pet project for Manville. So I'm here today to just kind of give some insight into what he's thinking and the benefits to the community, and tried to help the team that's supporting this motel and that's going to help run this project, explain to y'all the things that they see that are good about the motel for the city of Manville and the majority of the city of Manville residents. I do understand that the community that is behind this represents, I want to say, probably about 1% or less of the community. I also wanted to make mention that I've lived in Houston my entire life in different areas, and I've seen Highway 6 all the way from the top to the bottom of that road change greatly over the decades. And unfortunately, this is what Highway 6 is. It is really just a business road. It's a business road everywhere you drive on it. I watched the northwest side of Houston, Highway 6, change greatly in my life. I'm from that corridor of the city. So let me tell you a little bit. Let me go on here. Give you an overview of what I'm going to cover today. So today I'm going to cover Manville community. I'm going to talk a little bit about job creation and tax revenue. I'm going to talk about safety and flood mitigation and the alignment with Manville's vision and strategic plan. I already told you about Yogi and kind of who he is. He is definitely a family man. He loves animals. He lives in the country, and he loves to travel. So that's probably part of why his heart for this hotel is very important, because he wants a safe and good place for the city's people to bring their families and friends to stay whenever there are wonderful events that do go on in the small town of Manville, Texas. He doesn't want to have people have to go outside of Manville. So talked about Yogi, who he is, talked about how he wants lodging for Manville residents, their friends and their families. I want to say that it's pretty obvious that the primary guest at this hotel is going to be somebody that the people of Manville know. It's not going to attract people from out of town. I don't think that people are going to be looking to come to Manville from another town just because there's a Marriott here. It's going to be the inverse. They're going to know people here that are having events going on, like weddings, birthdays, big sports events at the high school, and they're going to need a safe and clean place to stay that's nicer than what's already offered here. So that's one of his biggest focus. One of the things he wants to do to try to attract local and keep local people here is to offer special rates to the community. So all the businesses, the schools, if there's another school coming into town for a football game, offer them really attractive group rates so they have somewhere to stay that's close to the school. And he wants to hold a 10% availability reserved just for locals and offer things like bereavement rates so that whenever people in the community have things like lose a family member, they have somewhere to stay nearby and don't have to drive 30 minutes to stay at a hotel in Pearland. And mostly he wants to have a good neighbor approach. And I know that's one of the things that the city of Manville values, and he wants to have the same thing and offer that to the community, where he wants to be an open door so that when people have issues with his hotel or with the construction project, that he wants to address those concerns and be a good citizen. How is he going to bring value to local businesses? Well, it's pretty obvious that if people have a place to stay in town, they're going to keep their money in town where they shop and they eat at local restaurants. I think that's extremely important. In addition to the tax revenue that he's going to bring, he's actually going to be supporting local businesses. And nobody here has really talked much about that. But if you're a small business owner, you want to keep people in Manville. And I know Manville values having the small businesses because you want to stay small, but you want to encourage business. Having something like this versus people going to the bigger town of Pearland to lodge and eat and shop, this is going to help keep people here. And again, it's going to be friends and family of the people that live here. And also, having the large brand of Marriott will help enhance the city's commercial appeal to bring other small businesses to the city. So I did a little bit of research, and it looks like the community was surveyed, and I feel like there are a lot of synergies between what the people of Manville said in these surveys and what the hotel will bring to the area. Some of the feedback that was given in this survey, and I want to say, y'all could probably correct me, it was at least 300 people that responded. They wanted new businesses, they wanted increased in property values, and they wanted more job opportunities. They also wanted commercial development that appeals to and serves the Manville residents. I'm unsure how we can say that the hotel is not going to serve the Manville residents' families and friends, because I feel like they're going to be the primary customers of the motel. And then according to the Manville Today report, you can see that, as we've talked about in the past tonight, that the population of this town is growing exponentially, and we want to get ahead of things like lodging accommodations. If we wait until the city continues to grow at a 4x pace, there's going to be nowhere for people to stay. Unfortunately, Highway 6, with the nature that it is, there are going to be country homes and acreage properties almost all along the whole entire thing, and I think that the location is the biggest complaint. And I was trying to wrap my head around how to get around that very readily, and I just don't see it when you have a willing and able participant who's willing to dump millions of dollars into the community on this property and also offer a very attractive accommodation for people here in Manville.
I'll go next.
I only have one.
Go for it. No, you take your time. Please take your time.
No, I was just wondering, so what consideration went into like this area prior to Yogi purchasing the land? Was it just that it was affordable and he said, hey, they don't have a hotel, let me put one here? I'm just wondering, like, what kind, was it merely because financially it was cheaper than going closer to 288 or directly on Highway 6?
Yeah, so this one is my name is Aniket Patel. I'm the business partner with the Darby family, and I'm the family member also. So this location is perfect for the nearby. It is very close to the Highway 6, and we are not encroaching any of the neighborhood. And this one is like economical based on based on the other side of the 288 sites.
So it's fair, so it was more affordable.
Yes.
But still somewhat close in proximity to 288.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And then prior to purchasing the land, I mean, I'm not sure where Yogi lives. I know he lives in Manville, but is it in this area or
Yes.
is it more in like the newer communities?
No, it is very close. This is just like a mile away, 9500 Bissell Road, just backside of the railway track. They have that.
So as someone so I used to live in Blue Water Lakes, which is right next to where the Best Western that's located that everyone's been referencing. And I know that when I lived there, one of the issues was that they would have visitors essentially that were staying at the hotel, walk into the community, and it would make sense because, Blue Water Lakes is right next to it, and then there's a lake with a walking trail, and Best Western allows animals, so, they have to walk their dogs, so they would come into the neighborhood, and there were a good amount of times where, surprisingly, neighbors would find people swimming in the lake, and so I'm just wondering, for things like that, where obviously you're going to have a wide variety of people that would be staying at the hotel, what are you going to do besides planting trees, for privacy to make sure that they don't venture off into the community?
So there is a lot of land, like 10-acre land, and the 2-acre is the retention pond, and there will be the walkway around it. Very nice walkway for the guests and for the local community. If they want to come and just morning walk or evening walk, they can do it. And on the backside of the neighbor, they don't need any business to go the other side. So I'm not understanding why they can go inside, because everything, they are very close to the.
There's going to be a big walking trail around the retention pond where people can go walk for themselves for exercise or walk their pets.
Okay.
Correct. It is not shown on that image. I don't have an image of it in the presentation.
Yeah.
Okay, and then some of the amenities that the hotel would provide, it wouldn't necessarily be open to the public. So like a gym or anything like that, you would have to, pay to visit it. So how would that actually benefit any of the residents that live nearby it? Because you were speaking on the amenities.
So, the hotel itself being an amenity for their guests, for their family and friends. That's the idea, is that the people that live here will have somewhere. Everybody has parties. They have events. They have life things that happen where they invite people over. And I know that his kinfolk are going to stay with him, but I think most of my kinfolk, I'd rather him be at a motel. So I just wanted to make sure that it was a point that the primary guests at the motel are going to be the people that live here's friends and family, and that's what the amenity is. The hotel itself is for the people that live here when they have events and parties for people to stay, and also the sports. This is a huge sports town, so there's no doubt that those types of things, and even this the Fourth Fest is over. It's 2 nights. So all the vendors and everything that come to support the area, this would give them a place to stay overnight whenever they have a 2-day event like that's about to go on in a couple weeks.
And then the last question I have, is there going to be like a conference center in the hotel? Is there some type of a large space, or is it just primarily rooms and...
Correct. It's planned right now to have conference for business meetings and also a lounge area for smaller business meetings, so people can go and, that are staying for small business events or that want to have, meetings like even the city, if they wanted to have a meeting there, they could stay. I'm sure he would give you a discount.
Okay. That's all.
And so what I'm hearing is a pitch to council after we have heard every single Manville resident beg us to not allow this in. And so my question is, have you ever gone before a council that was elected by their constituents, and every single one of their constituents said, do not do this, and the council agree with the business and not the constituents? Have you guys ever done that? Have you ever presented to a council before?
I have.
The business owners?
Yes.
You have?
We have.
And the council went against their constituents In which city?
Nirmal Gandhi with Gandhi Designs Architecture. I've done over 500 hotels in just pretty much in Texas alone. I have had it where City of Baytown required it. I did do that. Mount
And the
Bellevue,
council members voted for it against the will of the public.
yes, due to because I'm not bringing a small little mom and pop shop. You're bringing a Marriott or Hampton or some kind of major brand, and yes, it does go that way.
So just for clarification purposes, I'm going to say I travel Marriott, but we could also use the tax revenue if Mr. Yogi looked at his 10 acres and decided to do something else. 85 hotel rooms is not going to be enough during a hurricane. It's not going to be enough during a disaster. It's not going to be enough for my family if we have a quinceañera and we bring all of our Mexican-American family to Manville, Texas. Let's just be real. They're not going to all fit there. So I love the passion and I love the fact that you guys are really, really trying to get us to see the value in that. Unfortunately, I cannot and will not get behind it this time. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Thank you.
Trying to present a business to us, and they want to bash somebody else in the process, and that's just not the way to do it. Don't do that. I would like to ask, even if it's not at this location, I tried to look at your drawing real close, and I didn't see a location. It was kind of hard to read the drawing. I didn't see a location on there for a backup generator. Does Best West, your hotels, do they put backup generators on them?
Yes,
They do. Okay.
it is not a requirement, but yes, we are planning to do one this one.
Right. But if you're talking about, community emergency support, obviously you need a backup generator or there's no support. So I think y'all have heard really strongly from our citizens, and you're hearing it from our council. We do want you here. It's just not this location. So don't say we don't want you, because that's not true. We just don't want it here because of the local residences. Thank you.